and while I like playing online games with other people, I'm really shy and I very rarely actually talk to them. This is difficult because I play a lot of shooters which require you to communicate with your teammates. I still have game chat on though, so I can hear my teammates make callouts, but my microphone is on push to talk. That way, they can't hear me. I managed to get away with using the game's pinging system to communicate. My main game at the time of this story was Fortnite. I know what you're going to say. Not too long ago, I got loaded into a squad. Two of the guys sounded around my age, which was mid-teens, but the third one sounded like a really young kid. He was really loud and obnoxious, but I found it kind of adorable. He seemed really impressed by my skill and was constantly complimenting me. I won't lie, I loved it. Anyway, we were doing pretty well, but we ultimately lost the game. Now, usually I just load into the next random squad. However, the kid sent me a friend request and I did really enjoy playing with him. So I accepted and went on to play several more games with him. He was very talkative and didn't really mind that I wasn't. It was the best time I'd had on the game in a while. About 6 games in, I heard a strange sound through his microphone. It was like a loud, sudden bang followed by the kid's gasp. Then there was silence. I had no idea what was happening, but his character in the game had stopped moving in the middle of nowhere, and he'd gone silent for the first time since we started playing. I was already worried that something bad had happened. I built around him in the game and just chilled for a bit, thinking that he'd just gone AFK for a bit. He did come back, but he sounded really different. He was crying and I could barely understand what he was saying. I knew that he was in trouble and he was asking for my help. This was the first time I'd ever thought about using my microphone, but I had no other choice. I started asking him questions and eventually learned that his dad was drunk, which sounded like a common occurrence, but he said his dad was really angry. It was so horrifying hearing this little kid explain in tears how terrified he was of his own father. I went on to tell the kid to lock his door and be really quiet. When I told him to call the cops, he said his mom told him he was too young for a phone. I was playing on European servers and he sounded British. I happened to live in Russia at the time. I asked him to tell me his address while I dialed the British police myself. I kept talking to him, comforting him, while explaining the situation to the police. It was the most terrifying experience I'd ever been through, so I can't even imagine how that poor little kid was feeling.